Stonewalling is a communication barrier. It happens when someone refuses to engage in conversation. They may ignore you or give you the silent treatment. This behavior is harmful to relationships. It can be more dangerous if stonewalling occurs as a response after the other person has just opened up about their feelings or ideas. It creates distance and distrust between partners. Stonewalling can be intentional or unintentional. When living with no self-awareness or self-regard, life is unconscious, and there are many decisions made unintentionally with a lack of awareness. Regardless, stonewalling damages the emotional connections of both partners. It leaves the stonewalled person feeling hurt, rejected, disliked, and alone. Today, we will explore together the effects of stonewalling and offer intuitive solutions that may facilitate healing. We will delve into the psychological impact on both parties. We will examine why people stonewall and how it affects their partners. Most importantly, we will discuss ways to overcome stonewalling and rebuild trust. By understanding this destructive pattern, we can foster healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Stonewalling can occur in any relationship, but is most harmful in intimate relationship dynamics, like between parents and their children, love partnerships, and work partnerships. This video will equip you with the knowledge and tools to break free from the cycle of stonewalling. Stonewalling is incredibly damaging to relationships. It creates a sense of isolation and rejection. The person being stonewalled often feels unheard and unimportant. This person feels disregarded and begins to question their own true self. They may feel like they are talking to a brick wall. Like, they don't even have a real relationship with this person because the other person's emotional presence is just not there. Sadly, in turn, the stonewalled person may begin to dissociate through coping mechanisms of living through their fantasy self and situations, because they subconsciously begin to repress the self that is being stonewalled, because they are receiving energetic impressions from their loved one that this self being presented and shared within the tribe is not worthy of being received or acknowledged. Chronic stonewalling in childhood can have devastating effects on an adult's personality and socialization. This lack of communication can lead to feelings of worthlessness and insecurity that carry on throughout life subconsciously. It can trigger past traumas related to abandonment or emotional neglect. Although not physical abuse, emotional abuse is also very dangerous. Over time, stonewalling erodes the foundation of personality, true self-expression, and the relationship. The stonewalled person begins to walk accordingly to gaining approval and acceptance from their abuser rather than living in their authentic truth. The emotional scars left by stonewalling can be deep and long-lasting. It can damage self-esteem and create a fear of intimacy. One may begin to attract partners that mirror this fear frequency, and this is how generational so-called curses begin. In other words, generational patterns begin their natural need to be accepted and received by one's tribe, rooted in unhealthy emotional intelligence, leading to unconscious socialization that's passed between generations. It can also lead to anxiety and depression. The stonewalled begin to question if they should even ever speak up, and they silence themselves and shrink their power. If you are experiencing stonewalling, it is important to remember that you are not alone. It is very common, especially among those who struggle with avoidant attachment imbalances. The Stonewaller constantly avoids showing up as their true self and responding because they themselves were never allowed to speak through their true self. There are ways to address this issue and rebuild your relationship to stop the collective issue of stonewalling. Stonewalling may seem like a form of control or manipulation, but often it stems from a place of emotional overwhelm. The chronic stonewaller is usually so far emotionally tapped out and unplugged from their true essence because many have faced a traumatic amount of rejection in childhood, and they are now frozen in their inner child as an adult, in a fight or flight response, because the rejection that they have faced as a child has possessed their ability to be their true self. Humans are deeply fragmented, and possession is not necessarily by a ghost or an entity outside of oneself. Many struggle because parts of themselves that are unhealed are possessing them and leading them, just as the example previously explained of the inner child stepping in to lead as a way to protect the stonewaller frozen in childhood trauma. The stonewaller may feel incapable of engaging in a healthy way. They may lack the communication skills to express themselves effectively. They might fear conflict or have difficulty regulating their emotions. In some cases, stonewalling is a learned behavior. They may have grown up in an environment where open communication was discouraged. Past experiences of being criticized, humiliated, or invalidated can also contribute to this defense mechanism. It is crucial to remember that stonewalling is not an excuse for bad behavior. It is simply an explanation. Understanding the motivations behind stonewalling can help us approach the issue with empathy. Stonewalling can create a vicious cycle in relationships. The person being stonewalled may initially respond with anger or frustration. In today's world, there are few outlets that teach that negative emotions, like anger, can be healthy, and that there are techniques used that help one processes anger healthily. Desperate for love and acceptance, they might try harder to get a response from the stonewaller and struggle with saying it effectively, leading to increased tension and pain. Over time, they might resort to stonewalling as well, completely blocking out all relationships or intimacy, which are an essential nature of well-being, health, happiness, and peace. This creates a dynamic where both partners feel unheard and disconnected. The cycle of pain continues, eroding the love and trust that once existed. Breaking this cycle requires both partners to acknowledge their role in the pattern. It involves developing healthier communication skills and learning to regulate emotions effectively. Seeking professional help can provide guidance and support in this process. It is essential to remember that change is possible with commitment and effort from both sides. Learning the language of emotions and understanding your feelings are key. Your emotions greatly influence your energetics, which produce your life. Overcoming stonewalling requires emotional intelligence. This means being aware of your own feelings and the feelings of your partner. Conscious relationships flow, while unconscious relationships produce stagnancy and resistance energetically. Often overlooked in Western medicine, in alternative medicine, relationships are at the core of our health and healing. Awareness and consciousness require us to be fully present and actively involved in understanding how emotions influence communication. When you can identify and express your emotions effectively, you are less likely to resort to unhealthy coping mechanisms like stonewalling. Emotional awareness allows you to communicate your needs in a clear and assertive manner. Developing emotional intelligence is something that must be learned and mastered. It also enables you to empathize with your partner's perspective, even when you disagree. By understanding the emotions driving their behavior, you can respond with compassion and understanding. Developing emotional intelligence is an ongoing process. It requires self-reflection, practice, and a willingness to be vulnerable with yourself and your partner. Let's break down walls and learn some communication strategies instead as we teach and integrate the inner child. Open and honest communication is crucial for overcoming stonewalling. This involves creating a safe space for both partners to express themselves without fear of judgment or rejection. Active listening is essential. It means paying attention to your partner's words and body language. It also involves reflecting back what you hear to ensure understanding. Using I statements can help you communicate your feelings and needs without blaming or accusing your partner. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," you could say, "I feel unheard when I don't receive a response." Remember to be patient and understanding. It takes time to break down walls and rebuild trust. Consistent effort and a commitment to healthy communication are key. Setting boundaries, protecting yourself in your relationship. Setting boundaries is essential for healthy relationships, including with the energetic realms. This involves identifying your limits and communicating them clearly to your partner. Boundaries protect your emotional well-being and prevent resentment from building up. If your partner continues to stonewall you, it is important to set consequences. This might involve taking a break from the conversation or temporarily distancing yourself from the situation. The key is to enforce your boundaries consistently. This shows your partner that you are serious about your needs and that their behavior has consequences. Remember that setting boundaries is not selfish. It is a way of protecting yourself and the relationship. It promotes respect and fosters healthier communication patterns. Seeking professional help, guidance for healing and growth. Sometimes overcoming stonewalling requires professional help. A therapist can provide a safe and supportive environment to explore the underlying issues contributing to this behavior. Therapy can help individuals develop healthier communication skills, learn to regulate their emotions, and address any past traumas that might be influencing their actions. Couples and family therapy can be particularly beneficial. It provides a structured setting for partners to relearn how to effectively communicate their needs and how to meet the needs of their partner. Seeking professional help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It demonstrates a commitment to personal growth and a desire to improve the relationship. Alternative healing for partners may be through group energy healing or Reiki sessions, diving into your sacred contracts or astrology between the partners with a trusted healing practitioner, and healing ceremonies like group clearings, retreats, and celebrating new declarations after group cord cutting from old destructive patterns in communication. Take an art class together or create an exciting new project. together that requires you both to relearn how to effectively collaborate. Rebuilding trust is a journey of patience and understanding. Rebuilding trust after stonewalling takes time and effort from both partners. It requires consistent action and a willingness to be vulnerable with each other. Apologize sincerely for any hurt caused by your actions. Give mercy and grace to your loved one if you truly want to maintain the relationship. Listen empathetically to your partner's perspective and validate their feelings. Focus on rebuilding intimacy through small, positive interactions. Make clear actions rooted in love and healthy boundaries. Make an effort to engage in meaningful conversations and spend quality time together. This is important to set the new scene for your healing journey and is great for reestablishing trust. Remember that rebuilding trust is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks along the way. You must meet the needs and desires of your intimate and sacred partnerships, whether this be within your home or family. This is a basic human necessity and the foundation for creating healthy spaces where partners can build and enjoy together and feel safe to be their authentic selves. The key is to approach the process with patience, understanding, and a commitment to creating a healthier and more fulfilling relationship rooted in love. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Namaste.